What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fine, and today, as usual, we're gonna continue with Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. It's gonna be the 13th part of the first book, so let's get started. Introduction to the Virtues. Since happiness is a certain sort of activity of the soul in accord with complete virtue, we must examine virtue. For that will perhaps also be a way to study happiness better. Moreover, the true politician seems to have put more effort into virtue than into anything else, since he wants to make the citizens good and law-abiding. And we find an example of these in the Spartan and Cretan legislators, and in any others who share their concerns. Since then, the examination of virtue is proper for political science. The inquiry clearly fits our decision at the beginning. Now it is clear that virtue we must examine in human virtue. That the virtue we must examine is human virtue, since we are also seeking the human good and human happiness. Now, by human virtue, we mean virtue of the soul, not of the body, since we also say that happiness is an activity of the soul. If this is so, it is clear that the politician must in some way know about the soul, just as someone setting out to heal the eyes must know about the whole body as well. This is all more true to the extent that political science is better and more honorable than medicine. Even among doctors, the cultivated ones devote a lot of effort to finding out about the body. Hence, the politician, as well as the student of nature, must study the soul. But he must study it for his specific purpose, far enough for this inquiry into virtue. For a more exact treatment would presumably take more effort than his purpose requires. We have discussed the soul sufficiently in our popular works as well as in our last popular, and we should use this discussion. We have said, for instance, that one part of the soul is non-rational, while one has reason. But are these distinguished as parts of a body and of everything divisible into parts are? Or are they too, only in definition, are inseparable by nature, as the convex and the concave are in a surface? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for present purposes. Consider the non-rational part. One part of it, i.e. the cause of nutrition and growth, would seem to be plant-like and share with all living things, for we can ascribe this capacity of the soul to everything that is nourished, including embryos, and the same capacity to full-grown living things, since this is more reasonable than to ascribe another capacity to them. Hence the virtue of these capacities is apparently shared, and not specifically human. For this part and this capacity, more than others, seem to be active in sleep, and here the good and the bad person at least distinct. Hence, happy people are said to be no better off than miserable people for half their lives. This lack of distinction is not surprising, since sleep is an inactivity of the soul insofar as it is called excellent or base, unless to some small extent some movements penetrate to our awareness. And in this way, the distant person comes to have better images and dreams than just any random person has. Enough about this, however, and let us leave aside the nutritive part, since by nature it has no share in human virtue. Alright, guys, so we've done with the first part of this chapter, and we're going to continue tomorrow on the next one. Thank you for joining me today in this reading session. Hope you enjoyed the journey. See you, bye.